Yeah. You know what time it is. Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast. It's your boys, the world champions of podcasting. I'm talking about the dynamic Darkwing Dub, S Got Bars, aka Bars Wrestling Media, and Jay Styles, the historian. We are back with another one. Yeah. And I know we got a lot to talk about, man. I know we got a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna let Jay Styles kick it off with what he had in his notes today about this whole Saudi situation in WWE, and then we just go from there.
So yeah, guys. I saw the kickoff show, and five things they talked about that was really interesting from my point of view. I want to start off in the order in which they appeared. Give me a moment, real quick. First, we had Jacob Fatu, and Jacob Fatu. He was saying, I'm gonna walk solo like a damn dog and beat his ass at the same time." So
Yeah, I did see
that
that.
really got me. That got me hyped because and when he always say he gonna walk somebody, he gonna dog walk somebody. He stand and deliver on that. And then
Mm-hmm.
the second one that came out there was Sammy, and Sammy had the whole crowd behind him. He got among the loudest cheers and pop. With Sammy's heritage ties, it's kind of controversial for him to be in Saudi Arabia, but the Saudi Arabian crowd said chanted welcome home to him, and I felt that was really inspired. That hit him close to his heart. So he pounded his chest and recognition saying thank you, and that he gonna show a side to Kane Cross that he ain't think Sammy had in him. Not the stuff he been talking about on Raw. It's a whole different side of Sammy that we ain't seen since Ring of Honor and NXT.
Mm-hmm. I believe it. I definitely believe it because like I feel like there's a lot of layers to Sami Zayn that has not been exposed yet. I mean, we've seen the comical side, obviously. We've seen his hardcore side, obviously. We've seen his heel side, obviously. But I feel like there's one more side that Sammy hasn't tapped in yet. And I feel like once he taps into that side, he's going to end up getting the world title. That's what I believe we're going to see next. What's your thoughts, Dub?
Then
Uh,
we got
I
the third one that came out there was Mikael Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley.
Dub was about
Woo!
Dub
That
Dub,
street fight gonna be
Dub
fire.
yeah, Dub's about to say something real quick. Go ahead, bro. Then we'll kick right back.
um honestly, I see Sammy trying to go heel. He's gonna let that evil angel that is carrying Cross finally get to him, and then he's gonna finally make that heel turn. And I think that's when we see the other version of Sammy. Uh, I it's crazy to think because he's been a face for a little while now, and then to see him let that evil angel that's on his shoulder get him. I mean, it might be what he needs, letting Karrion Cross get in his head.
I think so too. I think it's going to be something that he could actually use to his advantage. I believe that this whole new side that we could see of Sami Zayn could actually help him to his advantage and could help him elevate to the next level. Because we all know he's due for a world title, but every time he knocks at the door, he always falls short. So I feel like this time is better than ever for him to capture that title. So let's go back to Styles, man. So what was else you was trying to say about the Night of Champions pre-show? You muted. Okay.
Yeah, I was muted for a sec. I just realized that I muted myself.
Yeah.
So I was saying about the street fight between Rhea and Raquel. That's going to be the showstopper, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
because the confrontation between the two of them and how Raquel said to Red, you always making this about you. This ain't about you no more.
Mm-hmm.
This about, you know, the whole women's division moving forward and you being left behind, going back down to the bottom of the pecking order. And
Mm-hmm.
Rhea said, nah, Miami is on top. Miami is always on top.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it's going to be tomorrow night. And I was like, yeah, I'm ready for it. And then last but not least, CM Punk. We've seen the tweets from 6 years ago related to back when he was the co-host of the Fox show for SmackDown, you
Yeah.
know, and how he went out to he basically had a verbal spat with the Miz, and that's where the whole thing about Saudi Arabia came into play, and how a lot of fans were speculating that was CM Punk taking Saudi Arabia's money if he going to be a Night of Champions. But then he rectified the situation by saying that one, he was in a bad state of mind waking up that morning in which he sent that tweet out. Two, he didn't really mean it. Looking back and reflecting, he wish he had never tweeted it. And three, the guy in the audience, in the front row of the audience, on my right side when I saw it, which was really the left, his name was Muhammad. CM Punk asked him, "What's your name?" He says, "Muhammad." He said, "Muhammad, I want to apologize not only to you, but to your fellow Saudi Arabians and Saudi Arabian country for what I said. And I hope you accept my apology." He did accept his apology. They shook hands, they hugged. Muhammad said, "CM Punk, I love you." And, basically got back up on stage, cut his promo saying what he going to do to John Cena. And what I did not know, and I when I say I didn't know, I mean I wasn't keeping a track record of it. I didn't know that in terms of wins or loss, they both had the same amount of wins and losses in the one draw between them. So it's literally a yin yang aspect to this that Michael Cole even said in the narration leading up to CM Punk coming out to cut his promo in front of the audience. I felt that this match of this magnitude, for it to be considered the final chapter between the two of them, it's a shame that it's not going to end the way most of us is going to expect it to end. Which is probably, if you're rooting for CM Punk to win, he's not going to win, unfortunately. But from the way the promo was cut, delivered, is you gonna be. I personally feel the three of us, are gonna be deeply invested in that match. Outside of the two matches that weren't mentioned but were mentioned tonight on SmackDown, which is the King and the Queen of the Ring finals. I felt like they should have at least gave us a little tippet of the face off between them instead of having us sit back and wait for SmackDown to air. And even though it did air, Cody and Randy had technical difficulties
Yeah.
doing the promo of face off between them.
Yeah. Let
So
me pause. Let me pause you real quick. I want to hear Dub's point of view. So I want to get back to this John Cena and CM Punk promo situation. So, Ayo Dub, so did you see the promo between John Cena and CM Punk on SmackDown? Were you able to catch that highlight?
I caught the
it hasn't
highlight. I didn't
happened yet
watch
on
the
my
show.
Hold on.
I didn't watch the show, but I did catch the highlight.
Uh huh.
And boy, let me tell you. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
cooked them. He did definitely cook them. He cooked them worse than he did 2 weeks prior to the pipe bomb on Monday Night Raw this past Monday. It was way worse. And then the fact that he came out imitating the Dr. Thugonomics, woo!
Yeah. What'd you think of it, Dub? Because I was impressed. I definitely was impressed. No, that's it.
I didn't expect that from CM Punk. You know what I
Neither
mean?
did I. Neither did I.
He's known for pipe bombs and being good on the mic. I didn't see him throwing out some bars like that. No pun
Yeah.
intended.
I
Yeah.
want to throw this out there, guys, in my notes that Punk did state that he was going to try his best to deliver a better pipe bomb than what Cena did to him, and he did. He
Mm-hmm.
definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
It was unexpected from CM Punk. I mean, from the highlight I saw, he absolutely cooked him. If you have anything cook sound,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This is where I got John Cena at right now. This is what
absolutely. And quite honestly, from my perspective, I don't think this feud should end at Night of Champions. I think it should go all the way through to SummerSlam.
So you think it should go through SummerSlam?
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never looked at it like that. And honestly, and now that I think about it, I don't think the feud is going to end at Night of Champions. I don't know if it's going to end at SummerSlam though, but I'm not sure if it's going to end at Night of
Nah,
Champions.
my prediction is we're gonna have either a fatal 4-way or a gauntlet that John Cena hasn't done in quite some time,
Mhm,
and that definitely between Randy and CM Punk gonna be in that gauntlet.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what's going to take place to that. I wanna shoot over to the AEW side, and I wanna discuss this one particular part of what MJF did that I felt was pretty interesting, and I want to get you guys' takes on it. So, as you know, right, WWE has this whole thing with TNA, and they got a business venture going on where, they're exchanging talent. TNA is getting to be on WWE programming, and WWE wrestlers are getting to be on TNA. So I feel like AEW is doing the same thing now with MLW because, as you seen the other night, which I still got to finish watching this pay per view they did, MJF invaded MLW, which I wouldn't really call it an invasion, right? Because, like, MJF originally is from MLW. He had a group called the Dynasty, and he was with Hammerstone, and he was with Richard Holiday. So, like, I really want to call it an invasion. I would just call it like a welcome home type of thing, because he came back and he confronted Mystico, aka Sin Cara. He confronted him, but he was dressed like one of the guys from Contra. And if you guys that are watching this right now are not familiar with Contra, Contra is a heel faction that was once led by the former MLW World Champion Jacob Fatu. Yeah, so you guys that are watching this right now, do your homework. Jacob Fatu was one of the headhunters for Contra, and now it's led by the dude named Mass Kruger. So let me get back to what I was saying. So anyway, so MJF came in there and he was dressed like one of the Contra dudes, and then he attacked Mystico and revealed that it was him, which I thought was wild. Everybody went crazy in there because that was the last person that they thought would come back to MLW. So I want to hear you guys' thoughts on that. I'm going to start off with Dub, then we're going to go right down to you, Jay. So what you got for that? Did you see that?
I saw a brief highlight of. I'll be honest with you. I've been ever since our interview with Elijah Burke. I've been slacking on my wrestling content. But I did was scrolling X one day, and I did after it happened, I guess, and I did see what MJF did on. Sorry, my freaking phone. Let me put that on silent real quick. um, MJF coming and attacking Mystico, and then everybody went wild when he took the mask off. I mean, I think it's cool, man. I think it's cool that Tony Khan allows his guys to go to other places like an MLW and show out like that. I think it's cool. I wish Triple H and WWE would capitalize on that kind of stuff also, other than, they send Natty to GCW
Mm-hmm.
and then they don't do nothing with her when she's on TV for the WWE. And it's kind of cool that Tony Khan allows that.
No, I think it's cool too, and I'm trying. And like I said, I think that they're probably going to do the same thing with MLW, like they doing, like WWE's doing with TNA, because like, and I feel like it'll be a win for MLW as long as they do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? As long as AEW does it the right way, and the reason I'm saying that is because if you look at the last time AEW did something like this, they did it with TNA. And when they did do this with TNA, a lot of their TNA wrestlers took L's to the AEW wrestlers. So, in order to make it even, you got to even out the playing field. So, of course, your top star, you don't want your top star to be taking an L to one of their mid card guys. So put the two top guys and your companies against each other, and then have them drag it out, maybe a disqualification or something like that. You want to say something, Doug?
I got a message from Ladybug. I was wondering where we're live at. Are we live on our channel or yours?
No, we're not. We're not live at all. We're on.
Okay.
We're on our Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle channel. So this is not a live video. This is just a regular recording. But
Gotcha.
I will put this on TikTok though. I will put this on
Gotcha.
TikTok.
I will
So
let her know here in a second.
yeah, but we could go live after this though. But I wanted us to get this out the way, cause yeah. But go ahead, Jay. What's your thoughts?
Um, the fact that he was back in his old Indies promotion,
Mm,
I thought was interesting. As far as the highlight reel I've seen for it,
mm-hmm.
um, how how it could work with AEW storyline moving forward, it's hard to say because I need to know after in this aftermath what is what MLW people want to have to say about it, in the ring, cutting a promo. Then I
Mm-hmm.
can say, well, now we know where they stand, and now they know how this was going to inflict damage to MJF's status with the Hurt Syndicate. It's going to be interesting to watch once we see that unfold.
All right.
All right, so I was saying with MLW, they have to retaliate in an in-ring promo based on what happened, and then with that in-ring promo, that's to indicate some form of fashion they're coming up with AEW. And if they do come up with AEW, how it's going to impact MJF's status with the Hurt Syndicate, because they're not going to go after the Hurt Syndicate. They're gonna come for Bob. I mean, they're gonna come for MJF only. And then you got to wonder, based on if they do know he went over there, how are they going to write it? How are they going to tell it on TV about what he did? And how are they going to, reprimand him on live TV based on what he did?
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely finding it very interesting how they're gonna map out that whole situation. What I also find interesting with that is that the Hurt Syndicate got their own issues too, because the what they call them, the patriarchy is trying to go after the tag titles, Christian and his son,
That's
or his,
one.
yeah, his son, self-proclaimed son. What's it? What's his name again? I forgot. What's his self-proclaimed son again? Name again?
Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne. My bad. So yeah, so him and Nick Wayne are a pair, a tag team now, and Nick Wayne is also the ROH television champion. So it's pretty interesting when they confronted MVP, And MVP basically was laughing the whole idea off, but at the same time he did acknowledge the fact that he respects Christian. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do that because for me personally, their toughest opponents was the Gates of Agony. And since then they haven't I haven't seen AEW really put them in a real tough dogfight of a match. I mean, you could say that Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara put up a good fight, but to me, they're not a legitimate tag team. I want to see them fight a legitimate tag team. I want to see them fight like a Gates of Agony. I want to see them fight Shane Taylor Promotions. Get Shane Taylor and get one of his boys, put them together, and have them fight Shane Taylor Promotions. I want to see something like that. That will be a dogfight. But to me, they're just putting these like weird tag teams together, and it's like I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't understand their run as tag champions. I'm not saying I don't like the story as far as the Hurt Syndicate, but their run as tag champions is it's kind of mid to me. It's kind of mid. What's your thought?
I I would say they need at some point they're going to have to get FTR involved.
Exactly.
And then if I heard this on a live earlier, and they had brought up the fact that at some point, I guess was it All Out that's going to be in Canada, um, possibly Edge and Christian.
Now, I won't frown upon that, but the only thing is that Edge is he going to be 100%, and is he going to be his old self? Because these last few Edge matches have been kind of cringe to me because not because of the injuries or whatever, because the simple fact that because of let me say because of the injuries, he's been a step off. Like we seen him in that Moxley match. That match was wild, all the way up to the point where he did the whole nails in the back type of thing, which was crazy. So it's like, you know, if we could get at least a glimpse of what Edge was, what he used to be, when he was with Christian, then I think that definitely would be a match worth watching. But I am intrigued, though. I am
I
intrigued.
would even take the Edge that we got in his tail end run, last run with the WWE. I would even
Yeah.
take that Edge
Hmm.
because he wasn't injured. He was doing his damnedest in the ring. Um, I I don't think those kind of matches that he had with Moxley, like taking the nails to the back and all, I don't think those suit him anymore. That's
No,
not
they
his
don't.
style anymore.
That's not. It's not, and that's why it looked so crazy when he did it because that's not his style. That's not his style of wrestling. Maybe it was when he was younger, but at this point of his career, nah, it's not. It really
And
isn't.
if I'm his wife, I'm like, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, for sure, for sure. What's your thoughts, Jay?
Well, first I want, as far as the Nick Wayne, Christian Cage forming a tag team, going after Bobby and Shelton for the tag team titles. That's the intended goal. Um, it's going to be a failure because they want to conclude this saga, if you will, before they bring back the rivalry or bringing Adam, bringing back Cope into the thing at AEW to either settle the score with Christian or they reunite as Edge and Christian, so to speak. But Cope and Christian, instead of Edge because WWE owns the namesake to it. As far as everything else that was mentioned, it's really interesting how a lot of switch ups have been happening concerning wrestlers and their style of wrestling going up against, guys that normally would be able to handle their original style when they came into AEW. I think the fact that AEW is allowing a lot of their wrestlers to try different things as far as their moveset goes in matches. It's telling us that they've heard the fans kind of say, well, we want to see something different. We don't want to see the same old. And, we want to see something that's going to be to set you apart from WWE, because some fans have been complaining on the internet that a lot of AEW stars do things similar to WWE, and why should I support it? Why should I continue to watch something that replicates something that's already pre-existing? That's how I look at it from my point of view.
Yeah, I agree with you. But not for nothing, though. I hate when the fans do stuff like that because, not for nothing, wrestling is like a copy and paste thing. It's been like that for years. Everybody does the same shit. It doesn't. I don't see what the reason is to be saying, oh, well, AEW is doing what WWE does, or WWE is doing what they all do the same thing. It really doesn't matter. Listen, we all know Goldberg for the spear, right? How many wrestlers in AEW and WWE do the spear now? It's like 10, 15, 20,000 of them mugs that do the spear now. So are
Between
we,
both promotions, 45, if you
well,
include the female roster.
exactly my point. So if we're going to complain about, oh, both promotions are copying against each other, then we're gonna be complaining about a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way the business works. People copy one another. You know what I mean? You got people that specialize in a body slam. They like to do that. You got people that specialize in a suplex. How many wrestlers that we have seen that specialize in a suplex all of a sudden? There's billions of them. So it's
True.
like, at the end of the day, man, I don't understand what the fans' problems. They need to just fall back and chill out.
Perfect example is the Hurt Syndicate and the Hurt Business. What's the difference?
You know, it's no
But you also
difference.
have
It's
to
the
look at it
same
like
thing.
like this. And WWE versus AEW in terms of moveset, the one moveset that AEW doesn't do as much that WWE does is the German suplex. You don't see a lot of AEW wrestlers applying the German suplex the way you have at least 10, including in NXT, applying the German suplex in matches consistently.
That's interesting. I never thought of it like that. That's why we call you the historian. That's why we call you the historian. You bring up them artifacts. Yeah, but hey, that's just pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. But yeah. He needs a hand clap for that because I didn't know that he came up with the whole numbers for the 45. I'm like, dang, 45. Like, you, that's for you, bro. That's for you.
Appreciate it.
Nah, but
But here's another thing that I've noticed between the promotions that people have been complaining about lately. And it's not even the fan attendance.
Honest with you, I don't even remember what we were talking about because I was dealing with this little boy. Um, what were we talking about?
it was. Go ahead, Styles.
Yeah, so with what I was saying, including the AEW stuff, that's just my take on that. Moving forward, but with MJF, we all heard about the story with Netflix and Happy Gilmore 2, him being in it. How WWE told Netflix they want to censor his scenes with Adam Sandler. They don't want it to be shown during Monday Night Raw. So I feel that's kind of weird because even though they got a partnership as far as broadcasting, they should not WWE should not have any say so on what can be advertised on Raw during the time Netflix broadcast it.
Yeah, I agreed. I agree. I found that very funny too when they did that. But they WWE, they seem to have control over that situation, which was weird because it's a Netflix series. It's not a WWE series. So I found that very weird and odd. But I guess that'll be a story for another time. What's your thoughts on that, Dub?
I don't understand why they're making such a big deal about it, honestly. I mean, it's a freaking movie. I mean, they show Black Adam on TBS and they show commercials of it on TBS and Dynamite and after Dynamite. Heck, what was that a couple weeks ago where they even cut off Collision for
Yeah.
Black Adam? So I'm like, I don't understand what the big deal is. Like, it's a movie. It's a Netflix movie at that. It's a streaming service that promotes WWE, but they also promote movies and they make their own movies. Where's the problem? Because it's MJF. MJF was just talking not that long ago about how he wanted to join the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem? I think it's silly.
Yeah, I do too. But you know, man, you know how it is right now. The promotions are clashing, so you know that's how they looking at it. You know, it's competition thing. I'm not gonna show your wrestlers. You're not gonna show mine. That type of stuff. You know what I mean? So I guess that'll be another story for another time. But hey, we have run out of time for today. But we'll definitely be back with another episode of Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast. I'm your boy, pronounce it like the letter or don't say it at all. S got Bars Wrestling Media. And I want the dynamic Darkwing Dub to give his outro. So go ahead, bruh.
This your boy, Darkwing Dub. You can catch me on the Tiki Talks under Darkwing Dub. Until next time, that's my dub right there.
Yo, give your outro, bro.
Yo, this your boy Jay Styles. Catch me on the Heat Chat. Coming soon to you on YouTube. You can also catch me on TikTok under Jay Styles 2419. Be sure to tune in. And on that note, peace.
Peace. We out of here.